So, hi, um, my name is Simone. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, I've been trying to figure out, like, what to say and how I want to start this story, but I have no idea how I really want to do that. Because there's just, like, so much stuff going on right now. I don't even know where to start at. But it's official. It's official. I am on the spectrum. I am autistic. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. Yeah. And I found out officially on Friday, May the 9th, 2025. Yeah. Fuzzies. So I guess I kind of just want to start over at the beginning of how I even got to this point right now, and because I'm still trying to figure out, like, where do I go from here. I don't know yet. I gotta figure it out. So also, we're gonna be flat ironing my hair. It smells so good. Honestly, it smells so good. Dang. Am I finna tell y'all all my business? How much of my business am I finna tell y'all? Because, like, I don't really know. Because there's so many moving parts right now. Like, so many moving parts. So many moving parts. So many moving parts. But I guess, long story short, what got me on the path to even, like, being like, I want to actually go and see if, like, this is for real or not, is really just my quality of life and the way it's just been getting worse and worse and worse these past couple months because of what's going on at work. Also because I had the insurance to do that. But also just because I've always been, like, very interested in psychology, and I've never ever ever felt like I understood people or understood how to be in, like, a relationship with them. So I really have felt like I had to, like, study people, and I mean, to figure out, like, how to operate in relationship with them, like study movies and stuff. And I eventually grew up and realized that maybe using movies and stuff to figure out how to be in a relationship with people was maybe not, like, that realistic. But I was like, there's got to be some kind of truth in here too, right? So legit that, and just literally watching the way, like, people interact with each other. Like, I've never felt actively a part of, like, any group or situation that I am in, and, like, this is, like, including when I'm with my family and we're, like, it's the holidays and I'm watching everybody kiki and talk and stuff, and I'm literally just watching everybody do all these things and figure out, oh, okay, they like them the most and they don't like them that much, and this person fits in here and that person fits in there, and, like, figuring out the hierarchy of, like, relationships and stuff. I literally spent my whole life doing that. And so that has always just been a running thing. That, and then when it came time to me to try to make my own friends and stuff in school, like, it's the same pattern. Like, especially if it's a group of people, it's like, okay, like, cool, everything's cool. Maybe I'll be fitting in for a little bit, and then something will happen. I'll do something. I'll say something that somebody don't agree with. Now the whole group don't like me, and now I'm on the outside. And maybe, if anything, in that group of people, I actually only made, like, one friend. Like, if I started out in a group of friends, then the group of friends, I usually end up being on the outside of it some way or the other by doing what I really don't know. And then I usually get close enough with one person who like treats me like a person long enough to like see me as a person, and then we be cool for a while, and then something happened with that person, and then we don't be cool no more, and then they never talk to me again. Like, and this is just a pattern, like elementary school and middle school and high school and college. Like now, like it's people that I was friends with, that I was cool with, and then we just wasn't cool no more, and I'm just like, oh, okay. I don't know what happened, but okay. Cause I mean, nobody be telling me what I be doing to make them mad, so I don't know how we supposed to like. I don't know how I'm supposed to be in a relationship with people. Like I really don't. I don't. And as I've gotten older, since I graduated high school and college, but high school for real, like the way in which I formed relationships has just gotten worse. And at first, I thought it was just because I was like moving around so much in my childhood. Like I went to literally three or four different elementary schools, 3 different middle schools, 2 different high schools. Like I was moving all over the place, and it was a lot. One time for the hair, though. Let's just appreciate the hair real quick. Back to the story. So I thought that that's what it was about. Where is my red tail comb at? I have no idea where that thing is at. I need it. 1 second. So was that with the relationships, and like I said, even just I don't be even feeling like close to my own family members. And then it was like a few people that I thought I could really be close with, right? And that was my cousin Chastity, that was my auntie Bridget. Like I thought, okay, these are my close people, but I'm not even close to them no more either. And it's just because I've gotten more confident sharing my opinion and my thoughts on like what's going on in other people's behavior, and that's been pissing me off even more because my perspective is just not the same as theirs. Like I have gone on in my life continuing to learn more and more and more and more and more about human behavior because it is of interest to me, right? So like once I learn something about some behavior that I know is like very normal for at least my family, for people to do, especially in general, then I started thinking about, okay, well, is this behavior like good for me? Like, does it actually work for me? Do I actually like it? Like, do I understand it? Do I understand the implications of it? Like, do I want to be treating people like that? Do I want people to treat me like that? Like, doing all of these things, figuring all of these things out, right? Sometimes I decide I don't like it. And then sometimes I'll be like, okay, well, now I think differently about that. Now I act differently about that. And now I want to share that information with people. And that be making people mad. So now my family literally don't even talk to me. And it's been going on for the past year. Over a year now. So yeah. Needless to say, my relationships have just been downgrading, and I just really feel like, dang, once I really even started thinking about, okay, could it be autism, then I was like, well, yeah, it makes a lot more sense because my social skills have completely like degraded like significantly as I've gotten older. And it is so weird because like I want to socialize, and everybody's like, oh, it's okay, like you could just be quiet, you can be shy, you could like just not want to socialize with people, not want to like be doing all this, like have like small talking and stuff like that. And it's not that I don't want to do those things, because I do want to do those things, but I literally do not understand them. I don't understand them. They don't make sense to me. People don't make sense to me. Like the stuff that they do share, that they do be using that small talk, and I'm just like, where are the boundaries? Should you be sharing this with me right now like this? Like, because I wouldn't be sharing this with you like this right now. Like I genuinely be walking around hella confused, hella anxious, hella scared. Like I cannot breathe until I come home at the end of the day. And even after then I do breathe, then I can't sleep. My sleep ass. Absolutely ass. My sleep is absolutely ass. Okay? It's a lot of stuff going on. But boom. Like I said, I always had an interest in human behavior and in psychology, and took the opportunity to learn about that as I got older, as in school and college and high school and college specifically. And then Alex had that book that was like literally a encyclopedia about, ouch, about the study of psychology. So obviously I read it cover to cover, obviously, so I could figure out how to understand people. Because what is psychology? It's the study of human behavior. Duh. So anyways, I read that. That told me about like how they even started recognizing and diagnosing and how they were treating autism like way back when. Because everybody think, oh, it's this huge boom of it. It's like it's such a new thing. It's not a new thing. It's just what they learned about it and the way that they treated it, the way that they're treating it now has completely changed. It's a complete 180, it's a complete 160 because now, like, especially in my case, especially now that we like are identifying people as, like I was saying, the amount of information that we've found out about it and the way we treat it is like complete change in this past decade, for sure, especially this past 2 decades. But especially this past decade, specifically like 2020 to now, especially because of the pandemic and people sitting at home, and now we have all this information, we have all this access, we have all this information at our fingertips, and we can share, we can talk to people easily, and now we can like more be able to identify and like relate to each other in different ways, especially now we got the time to do it because of the pandemic. I definitely think aided to all of this, obviously. Anyways, I read that book. I learned about it. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. And then, this is like right in the peak of the pandemic, actually. Right at the end of it. Because since my senior year started. You think this is too much hair? I'm gonna use a little bit less. A little bit less. Okay, I'll take that. I will put that up here. So anyways, yeah. Then I got fired. Well, I didn't get fired. I haven't been fired yet. Then I quit my job at Ross. And just the feedback then. And the same relationship pattern. Like, oh, we get really close. Everything's super cool. Now you mad at me. I don't even know why you mad. You won't even tell me why you mad. And now I'm out the door. Like, now I'm gone. And I'm just like still confused because now you're telling me, oh, we super close. 1 minute, oh, you think of me like your little sister, and then all of this. Now, a couple minutes later, I say your macaroni was dry after you said your macaroni was dry, and now you don't like me. Now you think I'm not doing my job properly. Like now all of these things, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what? Where did this even come from? I don't understand. All because I said your macaroni was dry, but you said it was dry first. So if it wasn't okay to talk about, why would you bring it up? Now I'm confused. Now you mad at me. Now, and like I said, same thing. But just recently, specifically, been realizing. Now, like I said, that was 2 years ago. This is 2023. 2023 was when I first took the RADS R test. That's when I first started hearing about it, when I first found out about it. Is when I took it. And I was like, oh, scores came back really high. I was like, oh, wait a minute. That makes a little sense now. That makes, if you take what I know about it, what I've learned about it so far, and I take these tests and I identify with it and I get back some super high scores. Okay, that starts to make these patterns in my relationships make a little bit more sense because, like I said, I study relationships. So I'm literally trying so hard to figure out how to connect with people, how to feel close to them, like how to do these things and not having to be surrounding like trauma. Because really, unfortunately, I've noticed in the Black community specifically, like, it's like we have been, it's like we have accepted like trauma as like a necessary part of our identity. And that's the only thing we connect, that's like the easiest thing for us to connect on. It's not the only thing, but that's the easiest thing for us to make the deepest kind of connection with each other is through something traumatic. And I'm just like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. But it's true, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm just like, I don't want to do that anymore. It's like I say, I took it first 2023, and then just really just started wrapping my head around it. Then I started like viewing my life through that kind of lens. Like if I am looking at it like that, then can I understand things a little bit more? I could. Or I could. Then came the part of like, okay, well, let me start communicating with people about it. Maybe like my family will be like, okay, you know what? Maybe that makes a little bit more sense now or something. Like, you know, maybe some people can help me start figuring this out because I just want to help. I just want to help so I cannot like want to kill myself all the time. That's it. That's all. That's all I want. But apparently that's too much to ask for. So, yeah. Being loud with your family about it, not a good idea. Because they're not going to believe you. And they're going to explicitly tell you that they're not going to believe you until you get it officially diagnosed by somebody else. Because knowing you in your 26 years of life and knowing how you operate as a person, the way you are such a voracious learner anyways, you know, the way you excelled in school, you know, and were always being recognized for that is not important. It doesn't matter. And only a specialist could confirm. So, you need to do that. Well, I was unemployed at the time, so. Then I got unemployed. Then I got unemployed. I got re-employed. Unemployed equals re-employed. This is too much hair now. But what can we do? We're just gonna wing it. And then, I'm like, let me, hold on. Hold this like this. Hold this like, no, I don't want to hold it like that. I don't like it. Hold on, guys. I'm having difficulties. No. Good enough. But, you know, yeah. So they're going to explicitly tell you that you need to get it diagnosed by somebody before they take you seriously. Then you get re-employed, and you're like, okay, now I can do that. But first, let me catch up on everything. And let me get back on my feet before I do that. And that's what I did. And then slowly but surely, of course, I started getting the same kind of feedback. You're so quiet, and you're monotone, and straight to the point, and this and that. And now I'm saying, since I took the test in 2023, and it's like, yeah, baby, you got some real hot indicators over there. I'm gonna get that checked out. Now I'm like, okay, this feedback makes sense. This feedback makes sense. But then also, I'm being treated differently because of it. Okay. Yeah. It's a lot going on at work, and I don't know. Because if I talk about it, I've been told it's going to be escalated, but also I've also already been told that there was nothing that they could do about it. So, I don't really know. Like I said, my videos are being censored, which is fine for now. For now. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, getting this feedback at work. Got this customer complaint about me being monotone and straight to the point. Yeah, and like everybody at work got so much complaining to do about me being quiet. And I'm just like, okay, well, what about the parts of my job that I am doing? Do y'all like for real not think that I'm doing anything at all, like to do my job, like for real? Because y'all think that I'm quiet? Because they want to have more silly conversation with me? That means that I'm not doing my job? Apparently. apparently. But yeah, now I got this customer complaining about me being quiet. This customer is sitting here in my face saying that I don't have no personality, and I'm just like, what the fuck did I do to you? Because I was rude as hell. Like, I'm just trying to check you out. You're not even paying for this stuff. He paying for it. And, like, I'm confused as to what your attitude is for. Like, I don't understand. I didn't understand. But just, like, hella cues apparently that I was missing. I was like, you know what? I'm feeling like shit anyways. Might as well go ahead. And so I went to the primary care physician, because you have to be referred to a psychiatrist. You have to get a referral to a psychiatrist. You can't just be like, oh, let me find myself a psychiatrist. No. So I went to a primary so I could be referred to a psychiatrist. And this is actually my second time doing this. I'm pretty sure I already told parts of this story, but this is actually my second time doing this. This time it worked. Well, actually it didn't. She referred me somewhere that didn't do what it was that I wanted, because I told her I want to be screened for autism. Like, that's it. That's all. And I mean, like, yeah, great, cool. You can recognize that I'm dealing with some form of, you know, anxiety and depression. Great. But that is not answering the question. That's not it. That's not scratching the itch. That's not providing enough clarity or enough support to be able to help myself go forward. That's not it. So then I had to have that place refer me to another place. I had to have the psychiatrist that the primary care physician referred me to another place that actually specialized in it. And then I found the Center for Optimal Brain Health, I think is what it's called, or something like that. Or they were sent to me anyways. And thus began the journey. Pretty straightforward. I went in for the first one. They said, okay, it's going to be 3 of them. Well, I called to set up the appointment, and it was, okay, it's going to happen like this. It's going to be 3 appointments if this is what you're looking for. You're going to have an intake one. We're just going to see, like, what it is that brings you in, like, what are your concerns, and, like, kind of just start forming, like, little baseline to go off of. And then you're going to come in for the testing, and then you're going to get the results. And that's it. And that's what they told me on the phone call. I was like, okay. And so we set up my first appointment. So I went in, told them, hey, like, this is how I feel. I, like, have a hard time just feeling, like, connected to people. I'm scared of people, actually. Like, I'm very scared of them. Like, I don't understand them, and they scare me. And I don't like to be outside, even though I really want to go outside to go do stuff, but I can't because people scare me so bad. Like, you know, told them all these things. Asked if I had any suicidal ideations, went over that, you know, and then he's like, okay, I'll see you back. There's 1 or 2 ways that we can do this, because apparently, and I knew this actually, I actually knew this. The wait time to get into a psychiatrist and get diagnosed for autism is, like, at some places up to 2.5 years. At Houston's Texas Children's in Houston, 2.5 years. And he was like, yeah, so we're actually pretty good about it. And I got the results back in, like, about 1.5 months. Or 2.5 months. No, it took, let's just say roughly 2 months. 1.5 months, 2 months, right? Because my first appointment was, like, at the end of March. My first appointment was at the end of March, and then the follow-up appointment was April 23rd. That's when I took the test. It was April 23rd. And then I got the results back on May 9th. So, like, it took about 1.5 months, a little over 1.5 months, a little under 2 months to get the results. So I was like, yeah, we're pretty fast about it. And he was like, you really got 2 options, like, because I have a colleague. If we can do it on Zoom, if you're comfortable with that, then, like, it'll actually speed it up. But there was no Zoom part, so I don't know, like, what he was talking about at that point in time. But there was no Zoom part. So, yeah. Went in on 23rd, and I was literally there from 9:30 a.m. until 3:50 p.m. And it was it was a really long day. It was a lot. And I still can't even in my head put it all together in the correct order, because it was just like that much stuff. It was that much stuff. Like it started out with interviews, like interview parts. And now like we're just sitting, like she's like asking me questions, like all kinds of questions. I don't remember what the questions were. I know it started out with us talking about like my quality of sleep, and immediately that made me start crying. So I know that's how it started, and then it kind of just went on for a long time. We had questions. There was this part with the book. I had to make up a story. The book didn't have no words, so I had to make up the story in the book. That was weird. I had to play with blocks, build a picture with the blocks. That was weird. I'm pretty sure that's was like, we got her. She's autistic, you see? Because I separated the blocks by color. And it should even give me all the blocks I needed. And I was like, why are you giving me all these uneven colors of blocks when I need all the... Why would you not just give me all the blocks in the first place? I'm confused. It was a lot going on. Okay? It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. There was that. I had to like memorize words, like go down this list of words, and then like ask me to define them for her, and then also asked me to remember them. Then I had to go down the list and like point out like it was this word, and it was this word, and it was this word, and it was this word. And it was like so much stuff. I had to show her how to like brush her teeth, like demonstrate how I would like brush her teeth. And then there was like this little break period, and I feel like they really got me during the break period. It was like, there's the autism right there. Because she was like, I just need to catch up on some notes. And then she like gave me some stuff to play with. And I'm like, this is obviously a trap, but I'll play with it anyways. And so obviously I picked up the magazine to appear normal, but I wasn't fucking worried about that goddamn magazine. There was this little spinning top, and I realized that it had a marker on the bottom of it, so you could actually draw with it. I was like, oh shit. And so I ended up playing with that. And then it was probably like, look at her. And I don't know why I'm acting like this, because obviously I went to get the test in to find out the answer, right? I wanted to do this so I could figure out how to support myself, figure out how to get the support that I need, how to be able to ask for the support that I need from people, you know? But the thing that I've been scared about the most is that, okay, like you're going to figure this out. You're going to realize that some other people, those in your life as a child, definitely had the opportunity to see this and to help you and to support you the way that you needed. They did not. And now you're going to have to do something about it. Like, you're going to have to do something about it. And that's what I've been the most scared about. And particularly what I was going to have to do about my relationship with my mother. Because that has been... Anyways, I don't know if I'm going to let y'all in my business all the way like that. Because I could. Because the video that I recorded after I first got off the phone with the psychiatrist, I was going in on her, and I just was like, I cannot post this. Not right now anyways. Let me sit on it for a little bit longer, because I still feel that way. But I was like, do I need to post this on the internet though? Do I need to post it on the internet? Does it need to be posted? I'm still figuring it out. That's why I'm making this video, so I can just walk y'all through the story. Because when I first pressed record after I got off that phone, oh baby, I was upset. Anyways, oh shit. So I just literally got off the phone with the psychiatrist who's been doing my fucking testing and shit. And first of all, that was the most nerve-wracking fucking waiting period of my goddamn life for the last week and a half, waiting for them to give me an answer, and then watching the clock. I've literally just been counting down the hours, like counting down the days to find this out, right? Because I don't even know how to feel right now. I really don't know how to feel, because this is a whole bunch of stuff going on. I don't know how to feel, but I'm feeling very... I don't fucking know. But moral of the fucking story is, I'm fucking autistic, like I goddamn said. Like I've been goddamn saying for the last 2 fucking years. And like, when everybody who been not fucking believing me, but I've been saying this shit for the last goddamn 2 years.
And it feels very good to finally be validated in that, to know that I'm not crazy, and to know that all of the fucking people, especially adults in my life as a fucking child, literally missed that shit. Missed that shit. And that makes me actually very sad. That makes me very disappointed. But now I got to do something about it, because like I'm fucking not okay, and I've been fucking communicating to people that I'm not okay, and no one fucking gives a shit. Everybody's just like, oh well, that's normal. Like, it's not fucking normal to not be fucking okay. Like, it's not normal to be fucking miserable and unhappy all the fucking time. Like, but a lot of things have normalized that. I'm not gonna get into that video right now. I'm not getting into that topic right now, because that's a whole other topic. A lot of things have normalized people suffering, especially black people. We're not gonna get into that. But you know, the thing that I've been most scared about in getting this and doing this has actually been having, like, getting the answer, and then knowing that now I have to do something about it, because I do have to do something about it, because the people who've been playing in my face, my family members, and particularly my mother specifically, like, I can't keep allowing you to keep playing in my face. Like, this is crazy. Like, it's disrespectful. Like, you don't give a shit about me, and you should have never been.
Yeah. So the test was like literally all day long. It was very hard. And then of course I already knew that there was going to be some parts that they needed a parent or a guardian or like significant other to do, right? Because that's just like a part of the test, and they want to like touch all the bases. Like, are other people also seeing, like, okay, you're saying you feel this way and you've been feeling this way, you know, and everything. Can anyone else like also identify some of these like behaviors in you? Right. So then of course my not very smart self decides to be like, okay, when they asked me if I had somebody who could do it, I really could have said no. You know, and maybe at this point in time, looking back, maybe I should have said no, but I didn't. Like a fool, like the fool that I've always been for my mother. Yeah. So I'm like, let me give her this opportunity to show up as my mother and be my mother the way she wants to be my mother. Anyways, so like I said, I took the test on the 23rd. They sent me the paperwork for her to fill out on the 28th. I called her on the 28th, and I was like, hey, I got the papers that I told you about already. Feeling kind of apprehensive about you answering the questions, so if you could just let me know. She's like, how can I support? You know, whatever, how can I support? And I'm like, okay, if you could just let me know, like, what the questions are asking you, then that'd be great, because I'm just feeling kind of nervous about you answering them anyways. And when I opened it from the doctor, when I emailed them back, I was like, hey, I sent the questionnaire to my mother, but I just want you to know, because I just already knew at that point in time, like, whatever she answers, just even in the conversation that she was having with me, like, she still don't believe me. She still didn't believe me. And she was still like, what if they tell you you're wrong? In our last conversation together, like, and that wasn't the first time she said that to me. So, needless to say, like I said, no one's ever believed me. Chastity didn't believe me, told me I needed to get it in writing from a doctor before she was going to believe me. My mother's never believed me. So, of course, my aunt has also never believed me. And anybody else that I've had this conversation with has also never believed me. Never believed me, because they're like, oh, you do this and you do that, and that doesn't sound like autism. And I mean, I'm like I've been trying to not chalk it up as like them being completely dismissive. I'm like, you just don't know. I'm like, okay, you know, you just don't know what you're talking about. Respectfully, you just don't know about autism, and that's fine. Like, that's fine. It's okay to not know about something, but it's not okay to not know about something and then to be also so dismissive of somebody telling you that they think that that's what they're dealing with, regardless if you don't agree or not. Like, people are super dismissive, and that has been hurting my feelings. But you know, it is what it is. But all I have to say, like, to the point where I started second guessing myself. And so after I took the test, and the waiting period in between the 23rd of April and May 9th was riddled with anxiety. Not only that, because of that, but also because of what's going on at work, and I'm just continuing to walk on more and more eggshells, and I still don't even know what the hell it is that I'm doing wrong. So, yeah. Um, it is now May 12th. Like I said, I got the results 3 days ago. I still haven't heard from my mother. So of course I spent that time period thinking that she didn't fill the papers out at all, or that she wasn't going to fill them out at all. And so now I'm already anxious. Now I'm just even more angry with her because this is a pattern. This is a pattern of how my mother decides she is or is not, usually is not going to show up for me emotionally. It's a pattern. Because why would you ask me how can you support and then proceed to say, okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm going to do them tomorrow. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And then never talk to me again. It's May 12th. I have not spoken to my mother since April 28th. Oh, and then also, so I took the weekend off because I was like, okay, I know my appointment is on the 9th. I'm gonna get these results. At no point in time in my mind has it even actually been possible that they were not going to confirm that I was on the spectrum. That's how confident I've been about it. But still to the point where, like, talking to other people about it is like, oh, they don't believe me, like maybe I'm crazy, like, to the point where I started second guessing myself. But still, at no point in time in my mind were they not going to tell me that. It's like, there's no way possible. Somebody with simple reading comprehension skills can pull up the DSM and the autism criteria for how they diagnose people and listen to me speak about how I feel. And yeah. But still, my mom was like, what did they tell you wrong? And people are like, oh, that doesn't sound like autism. And get that in writing first. And then I'll believe you because you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So I took the whole weekend off because I'm like, there's no way they're not going to tell me that. And I'm pretty sure I'm actually need some time to process it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I was thinking about going up to Fort Worth. Like, I want to have a party because literally right before it happened, I had a dream that I got the diagnosis. I had a dream I was at the store with Brandon and my mama, and she was like pushing the basket, and Brandon was like on his phone doing something, and I went back, I was like ran over to them like with the papers, and I'm like, look, like I am like on the spectrum, like it literally said it on the paper in my dream. And my mother was completely unfazed in the dream. She just like kept on pushing the basket. Brandon looked up. He was like, what? Like trying to figure out what I was saying. But I just remember her completely unfazed. Just like acting like nothing happened in the dream. So like I said, there was never a doubt in my mind that I was not going to get this. There was never a doubt in my mind that I was not going to get this diagnosis. So I took the weekend off. So I just give myself some time to process it, figure out like what it is that I'm going to say. Because the whole time I've been thinking, you know what? I'm going to get these papers. I'm going to put all the people in a group chat and I'm going to send it to them. And I'll be like, yeah. And never speak to me again. Thank you. And never speak to me again. But as I've gotten it, as it has become more and more real since I got the news, I'm just like, damn, I don't even want to tell them. I don't even want to talk to them. I don't want to deal with this. Because also, the last time I did, my mother texted me Thursday night to let me know that my aunt was in the hospital, in the ICU with a brain bleed on life support. She texted me that Thursday night. I woke up Friday morning before my appointment to an email about her canceling my part of the Netflix like little subscription because you know they cracking down on like password sharing or whatever the heck. And so I was like on hers or whatever. Dang, why did it do that? That was okay, good. Yeah, she canceled my part. And like I said, I haven't spoke to her since April 28th. So I'm just like, all right, like I'm not doing this. This is before the call. This is before the appointment. I'm not doing this with you. Cause why are you texting me, telling me about that telling me about my auntie. That's not a text message. And also, why did you do that? Like, why did you cancel that? Like, what was the point? What's going on? Don't know. And I get the call. Actually, my appointment was at 12, right? It was scheduled at 12 p.m. Scheduled at 12 p.m. Also, another reason why I took the weekend off, because I'm like, I'm not going to accept this call while I'm at work in the middle of the day. Hell no. So it was scheduled for 12, but they didn't even call me at 12, which obviously caused me to have a little bit of a panic attack, because I'm sitting here watching the clock like, damn, was I actually supposed to go in? Like, am I tripping? Like, was I actually supposed to go into the office, like, to get the results? But I'm pretty sure it was a phone call. Like, I'm literally going back and forth doing all this, thinking like, damn, did I do something wrong? I didn't. That's not the point. Okay. And he called me like 12:03, and he was like taking all these long ass pauses between like explaining everything, and that was also just making me very, very anxious. He was like, I'm sorry for these long pauses. I'm just a little under the weather. And I'm like, well, why didn't you just email me this? Sir, I do not need all this stress in my life. Except, I specifically asked for the stress. I missed. Good enough. So, the conversation starts out. Starts out with a recap of why I came in the first place. Like, you were saying that you were experiencing, you know, all of these things and blah 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 blah. So we start out the test making like a baseline, like IQ score, like a baseline intelligence score, just to like help us start with and like see like blah blah blah. The first step is a baseline IQ test. And it's like yours came back, your IQ came back average, which is just like important for us to like have as a starting point. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, great. And then he's like, well, there were some questions for your mom to answer, and she did answer those, and her test scores didn't indicate anything, you know, about you being on the spectrum. So obviously I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised that they didn't indicate anything about me being on the spectrum, because I also emailed you and told you that they wasn't going to indicate anything about me being on the spectrum. Because in our last conversation, when I was like explaining to her like what the questions were asking me, and explaining to her like, yeah, like there's all these things, like these things that you tell me about, and these things that I remember, and these things that I feel, and you still sitting here trying to tell me, oh well, that's just normal. What if they tell you that you're wrong? So I'm like, oh yeah, she's gonna get on here and she's gonna show her ass on these tests. That's what she did. But mind you, like I said, I was actually thinking that she didn't fill them out at all, and I low-key maybe would have preferred that she didn't fill them out at all. Like, you know, you don't always need to be validated that your parent knows you as little as you know that they know you. And what makes it worse is that my mother really be putting on this facade that she knows me so well, that we're just like, we have had the best relationship. And then when I say that to my aunt, I'm like, we've never had a good relationship. She's like, what are you talking about? I've always had a good relationship. What are you talking about? Like, how are you gonna tell me what kind of relationship I done had with my mama? So of course that was a start, telling me that her test didn't indicate anything. And then they go on to talk about my test scores and like all of that, and eventually he says, yes, we did go ahead and diagnose you as being autistic. Like, we did go ahead and give you that diagnosis. And then after he said that, I was literally like, and I couldn't breathe. I'm literally having a panic attack, sitting in the closet, in the corner of my closet on the floor, because I'm just like, this is like in real life happening. Like, you are real life disabled. Like, you were right. Like, and nobody been believing you, but like, you was right. Like, all that is like actually fucking crazy. So I really didn't hear much that he said after that, because I was trying to calm myself down. Like, I'm literally like, my brain's like, what the fuck, but I'm also like, but I'm trying to listen to you, but you're saying so many words and you're taking all these pauses. Like, I can't I literally can't. I should have recorded the conversation. I didn't record the conversation, but I should have. I told myself to do it, and I still didn't do it because after he confirmed that part, like, I didn't really hear much else of the explanation part that he was saying. So, in a nutshell, I was diagnosed with being autistic, dealing with social anxiety and depression. And I should have this all in writing in a couple of days. So we get off the phone. I try and calm down a little bit, but I'm just like, wow, I need to say somebody, talk to somebody, but I don't really have nobody to call. And I especially, like, I definitely don't want to call nobody that's going to immediately start defending my mom. Because the first thing I felt was angry, actually. I was actually very angry that first day, first couple of hours. Very angry. I was very angry and having to deal with that anger. So that was not fun, actually. I was very angry, and I'm just like, I need to tell somebody. We're not going to immediately start defending my mama, because I can't with that right now. Like, I can't, like, because, like, it's literally my whole life. I feel like been like, okay, like, what about me? What about me? What about me? And I've literally grown up being told that I need to be the bigger person. I need to be the bigger person. I need to be the bigger person. And I'm like, why are y'all so comfortable as adults telling children that they need to be the bigger person than their parents? Because to me, it sounds like you need to be having a different conversation. You need to be telling that parent that they should not continue to produce children. Like, if you're not going to be able to be the bigger person emotionally for your child, you shouldn't have them. You shouldn't have them. But that's just my opinion. Yeah. So I'm just like, who can I call? So I ended up calling my Aunt Danielle, who is my mama's sister on her daddy's side, who I literally never speak to. Never speak to that side of the family. They never speak to me. I don't really speak to them. That's what it is. When I was younger, I was really trying to, like, have more of a relationship with them, but I've always, apparently, I'm finding out in real time, had an issue feeling close and feeling like in a relationship and understanding how to tell what kind of relationships and if I'm in a relationship with people at all. So that probably explains that a lot. But anyways, I called her because she's the only person, the only adult in my life that I've ever witnessed stand up for me to my mother and be like, LaShura, like, it don't make sense what it is that you're saying in the way that you're treating your child right now. It actually does not make sense. Never seen anyone else do it. So I called her. Thinking it's a good chance she might not even answer the phone. Because how does my mother make it seem? My mother makes it seem like, oh, anytime I try and get in touch with Danielle, I can never get her to answer the phone. They don't ever call me back, and they don't ever text me or invite me nowhere, blah, 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 because that's my mother's whole story. So yeah, like, fully almost expected her not to answer the phone, but she did answer the phone. She did answer the phone. And then she became the first person that I told. I just found out I'm on the spectrum, and I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now, especially about my mother. And I really appreciate her for listening to me. Because that's really, I think, all I really wanted her to do was listen to me. So I really appreciate her for doing that. But then also, same day, like I said, my auntie in the hospital dying. So I'm like, the hell am I supposed to do? Because I can't even call nobody and say nothing, talk about this right now, because there's a lot more other stuff going on. And I don't even know if I want to say nothing to these people about it. Because I thought that I would. I thought that was what I was going to do immediately. But now I don't want to. So I'm confused. And I still don't want to. But unfortunately, on, I believe, Saturday, I think it was Saturday or Sunday. I am actually not sure. But unfortunately, on one of these days over the weekend, my Aunt Rosin did pass away. And so I've been, like, trying to check in on my Aunt Valerie, because that's her last living sibling. Now she's the only one still alive and well here, which is kind of very, very fucking sad that all of your siblings are dead. I imagine, anyways. So yeah, I've been like trying to call and check on her, but also like going through this, knowing that I have this news and knowing that still a certain part of her is still responsible for what my childhood looked like too. Um, you know, but still the brunt of my disappointment and my anger is with my mother. But still, some other people involved too. She is too. But they're still trying to check on her, you know, because her sister just passed away and don't really want to say anything, but ended up having to say something on Sunday. I mean, I didn't have to say something on Sunday, but the opportunity presented itself, and I just was just like over it because you keep talking to me about my mama, and I know all this stuff is going on, and if LaShawn not gonna be the one to give me the information, I'm not in none of the family group chats. So I've literally been getting this information that Auntie like passed away from Facebook anyways. So like I'm not gonna know what's going on unless I directly get the information from you. And at this point now I need to let you know, like I need you to give me the information directly because the person who's supposed to be giving it to me has decided to stop talking to me. Like just decided to stop talking to me. So I had to tell her. And I was doing fine. I was doing fine. Because like Saturday, I didn't cry Saturday. Friday, I did a lot of crying. Saturday, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm doing okay with this. I'm doing okay with this. And then Sunday, then I was talking to her, and it was just like, no, no, no. And then it became this whole thing, this whole yelling match. I was yelling at Brandon. I feel bad I was yelling at him. I mean, I wasn't yelling at him, but I was just yelling in general. Just about everything that went on, and like you sitting here, like I didn't want to tell them because I really felt like I was gonna have to sit here and defend myself, and I didn't want to tell them until I had it in writing because I knew they weren't gonna believe me, and that's exactly the way the conversation went. Like, oh, like what, you did this and you did that, you couldn't have possibly been like, well, I'm not gonna argue with you because you went to the specialist, but that don't make sense to me, and I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it, and you could have just been quiet, and like that's fine, and we probably all on the spectrum and we don't know it, and the conversation was just went all the way around the world, and it was just like, please, like please. We was on the phone for like 46 minutes, and I probably only talked in a conglomerate of the time for like maybe 5 to 10. Like, and that's how it is in my family. It's just like exhausting. It's like, oh, I didn't know you were dealing with all of these things. Like, how could you if you don't give me the space to talk? Like, I don't want to have to sit here and yell over you to say what it is that I need to say, because if I got to yell over you, you're damn sure not listening to me. You're definitely not listening to me if I'm sitting here yelling over you. If I'm sitting here having to yell over you. What the heck? Okay, well, I thought there was something right there, but there's not anything right here. It's coming out. Okay, confused. So, yeah. Yeah. But good thing is, even though I was going to tell Brandon not to come over this weekend, even though I was actively telling him not to come over this weekend, he came over anyways, and he was a very, very, very big support. But unfortunately for me, I gotta go back to work tomorrow, and I don't want to. And I'm literally just waiting to be fired, even though I didn't do nothing wrong. And it's a very awkward and anxious ass wait. So I'm not looking forward to that at all. I say I'm just waiting to be fired because like I just realized actually last week after a month of this going on that they're actually just trying to scare me into quitting. And I just realized that I just realized that it meant like last week, and they've been trying to, I guess, really do this for like a month now. So I am just waiting now, and it's not fun. Not fun. Wait, not a fun wait. Not a fun wait. Not a fun wait at all. So yeah, and that is the gist of my autism story. You know. So I really do advocate for self-diagnosis. Self-diagnosis is always a great fucking step, especially while we're in this very temporary age of still having access to real information to be able to help ourselves. Like, figure that shit out yourself first. Get a good a good idea of what it is that you think it is that's going on, do all your research, touch all your bases. That way you can advocate for yourself when you go to the doctor. So you can figure out how to help yourself, because that is exactly what my story consists of. Because not one person in my life has helped me validate this. Now, there were some people in my life who was like, okay, you know, that could be possible. They wasn't like discounting it. They wasn't like supporting it either, but they wasn't dismissing it or nothing like that. And I appreciate those people. But definitely nobody was like, I've been looking into it, and you know what, some of this behavior does, or I've been looking into it, and you know what, some of this behavior does not, like nothing like that. So that's okay. You know, like I said, a lot of information about autism has become available to the public in these past decades specifically. And that's what my auntie was talking about. She was like, even like with my cousin taking her youngest to the hospital, like, I mean, not to the hospital, like just to the doctor for his regular like checkups. Now they're screening for it. Well, some pediatricians are just automatically starting to screen for it, you know, and not it having to be the sole responsibility of the parent the way it has been, to be paying attention and to know about your child and to know like how to understand your child. You know, it's not just solely their response. I mean, it still is their responsibility because they're gonna ask you for the information, so you still have to notice it. But now the doctors are making that available to parents, so they don't have to come in and be like, "I think this is going on, but I'm not sure." Now the doctor can just be like on the same page as y'all are figuring it out together. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, man. It's been like crazy, just really trying to wrap my head around it actually. Because like I said, at no point in time did I really doubt that they was going to confirm it. But like, I was watching this video about like people who just found out, like, and like some pointers like what to do and like what to expect, like skill regression, to expect a skill regression, and I'm not ready for that. But I guess I should just be expecting it. And it was like, make sure you get a hobby, specifically one like with your hands, so you can like try and like start getting back into your body and stuff. And good thing I started my piano lessons, and they're going really good. They're going really good so far. That, and I actually have just been in the process of just picking up like a million and 10 hobbies anyways for some reason. So that and skills regression, expecting that to get a hobby. Just figure out like who it is I want to tell and who it is I don't want to tell. Because like I said, I thought I knew who I wanted to tell, and now I'm really not sure who I want to tell. And the only reason I'm really making these videos is because I don't know who be watching these videos. I know somebody do. I don't know who be watching these videos. And I don't know if this information matters to you or not. Maybe it do, maybe it don't. You know? But I know you're not going to be my ass. And I know you're not going to argue with me. Because you don't have the opportunity to. Unless you got my number. And if you do got my number, don't call me or text me trying to argue with me about this shit. Because I will just simply block you now. I'm over this shit. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Crazy, because I was finna cut her off because I thought I was finna come on because I thought she didn't fill the paperwork out, but she did fill the paperwork out, and in turn she decided to go ahead and ignore me. So now I don't even have to do the work. She did it for me. Thank you. And be prepared for that, because I've been teeter-tottering on having to make this decision for a really long time, and I've been wanting to not have to make the decision, to not have to have to not have contact with my mother, because I didn't want that. I never wanted that. Never wanted that. Why would I want that? But you're not going to keep paying in my face. It's no longer an option. Okay. Y'all have a good one. Be breezy. Now I feel much better about sharing this version of the story than the version where I was crying and screaming at the camera on Friday. Though I might add little snippets in there anyways. But you didn't notice a goddamn thing. Nobody noticed the goddamn thing. And you know, like,
I just don't know how I feel about that. Because, yes, I'm super fucking intelligent. I'm super fucking, amazing and all of those things. But still, they noticed. Like, somebody, I know they noticed. Do you understand how many times I grew up being called weird, being told I was strange? You know how many conversations I had with my mother telling me to take responsibility for her feelings and to fix the state of our relationship and to be responsible for the state and the health of our relationship? And it makes sense, right? Because I'm just not the daughter she thought she was going to get. Like, I'm not the daughter she thought she was going to get. She got an autistic one that ended up being depressed and socially anxious. And if I'm socially anxious and you want to have this relationship with me, this relationship archetype that you are seeing and getting the ideas from on social media, and I'm not fitting that role, then I guess you might.
You know what? The real reason why I'm not going to share this stuff from Friday is because my camera died. My camera battery died. And I was like, let me take this as a sign not to attack my mama on the internet. Because I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But still, how I feel is very valid. And I'm processing it. Okay? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to be angry at her and only her. But how I'm going to do that, I haven't even told her yet. I don't know when I'm going to tell her. I don't know if I'm going to tell her at all. Because I got some words to say to her, and I deserve to say these words. And I'm going to say these words one way or the other. I'm going to say the words. But when, y'all, real question. Should I go home for the funeral or not? That's what I'm really trying to decide. Do I go home for this funeral or not? Because even in that conversation with my auntie, I still feel like I'm sitting here having to defend the fact that I am autistic. And I know I'm autistic now. Like, it's been confirmed. I already knew I was. Now it's been confirmed by other people. And now the only reason that you're not going to argue with me about it is because it's been confirmed by other people. And you just said that out of your own mouth. So, like, I don't want to have this conversation with all of them. Because also I just think they don't care. They don't care. And the reason I'm hoping that people don't care, is because then they have to take responsibility for the way that they treated me. And I don't think, people want to do that. I don't think people want to do that, right? Because what kind of mom wants to go around saying, like, yes, I kicked my daughter out of the house on Mother's Day weekend when she was in 7th grade because I felt like she disrespected my boyfriend. Who's going to say that? Who's going to say that? Who's going to say, oh, I called my cousin all types out of her name, said she was crazy and she needed to seek like real help if she thought she was autistic, and to get that in writing before I would believe her, told her she needs to go find a new job and get in a car when she was literally in the middle of being unemployed. Who's gonna say I did those things proudly? I don't think, I don't know too many people who would. But who knows? Who knows? And just like that, your hair is flat ironed. It only took like 3 hours. 6 o'clock. I started a little after 2, for sure. It only took like 4 hours. It only took 3 hours. Only took 3 hours. And I just clipped my ends. And I like to do, I think it's called like the wolf method. So I like put it up in like one big ponytail all the way at the top, and I'll cut the ends, and I'll put it in half, and I'll cut that, and I'll put it like in a very ponytail at the top, and I'll cut that. Now it has layers. Not that you'll be able to see them because I have no. Yeah, now I'm just about to wrap it. Call it a day. Because it's still so huge. I mean, it's probably my fault thinking, okay, I'm gonna flat iron my hair, and then it's just gonna be like, no, I have too much hair. But guess what, guys? I did talk to my brother. And I don't know. I kind of feel bad. Because I'm not even sure what I called him for to say, honestly. Because like I said, my mama not talking to me already. So I'm like, I guess he probably already not talking to me also. Let me at least try and like
stand up for myself, because I just feel like I have to stand up for myself against my family. Like, I have to stand up for myself against them. Like, I have to, like, defend myself, like, because nobody cares about me. No one cares how I'm feeling. No one is concerned about me. So I'm just like, okay, well, let me tell you about yourself. Anyways, I had called him earlier and he didn't answer the phone, so I was like, okay, crisis averted. He's not gonna answer the phone because I'm not really even sure what it is I have to say to him. Then he called me back, and I just so happened to have been looking at my phone to see it. But I think I did a really good job of holding him accountable for his own actions, because he and our relationship, our relationship, however you say that, has changed a lot in this past year too, just because of everything that was going on. I was pissing my whole family off at the beginning of the last year, and he was pissed off by default because I had pissed his mama off. Then he was like, oh, well, I'm pissed off too now. And so he wasn't talking to me. And he like deliberately told me that he was upset with me. So I'm just like, so I stopped, me and him stopped talking. Because I'm just like, how are you upset with me because something that's going on between me and your mama? Like, you're incapable of forming your own opinions. Because I'm just not understanding how all of y'all are sitting around watching her treat me like this and still being like, Simone is the issue. I'm not. And I don't accept responsibility for that anymore. And that's what I had to tell him. Like, she offered support and then decided to ignore me. I'm not taking responsibility for that. Right, and it's now time for you to take your responsibility for ignoring me. Because what I said, what obligation do you have to me as my brother to pick up the phone and be able to call me and check on me, see how I'm doing? Because the way you moving, obviously you don't have none. He was like, well, when do you call me? Well, I don't call you anymore because you told me you was mad at me because your mama was mad at me. But before that, I used to call you regularly, actually. We used to talk very often. And I was like, now tell me I'm lying. He said, you're not. I know I'm not. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because I'm just like, y'all sitting here treating me like I'm crazy. And I'm not crazy. I'm not. And y'all don't have the opportunity to do that to me no more. Like, I'm over it. I'm done. And it's really hard to be, but I'm over it and I am done. No matter how hard it is. God damn it. Guess what, guys? Guess what, guys? It is May 15th, 2025, and I was fired today for the first time in my life. I was fired today. Oh, I can't even go into no more depth about why I was fired because I gotta do some stuff first. Need to put some stuff in motion first before I talk about it. But dang, I got fired for the first time today, guys. That's crazy. It's crazy, especially after having a conversation like with the district manager yesterday, telling her that like my mental health is taking like a huge toll working there in these past couple of days, and I'm on my way out of town this weekend for a funeral, and the next day he decided to come back and fire me. But guess what I did get today? Hold on, we're back. Simone's got her official papers. Simone's got her autism papers. I got all the tests right here. I got all the numbers telling me that I'm autistic as fuck right here. So funsies. I was like, you know what? Let me make sure that I stop by there and get this on my way home because I'm not driving back out this direction. And they told me it wasn't supposed to take a week, and tomorrow would have made a week. Like, I literally had to call them and be like, hey, why haven't I gotten my results yet? Yesterday. Then I was like, you know what? I just got fired. Let me pull up on them and see, like, what the hell going on. Walked out with exactly what I wanted. Unfortunately, though, it is hot as hell outside, and I need to do a couple things before I try and sit my ass down to get enough rest to drive 7 hours and some change. But with me driving 6.5 hours to Arkansas for the weekend to go to my auntie's funeral. Midnight is yelling at me because he thinks that since I'm home early, that means it's time for him to eat. But fun fact, also for him, I got him an automatic feeder, and I'm about to go figure out how to figure that. Like, I need to do so much stuff. Like, I need to do my eyelashes. I need to clean his litter box. I need to set up his automatic feeder. I need to find his gravity feeder for his water, just so I can make sure he has enough water. I mean, we only gonna be going overnight, but I mean, I just got fired, so I'm definitely not in a rush to get back here, you know. And I could maybe like extend it one more day, and we could like maybe come back Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. But yeah, just wanted to give y'all that little update. That little update.